Chapter 2. There are some kids, and you can tell just by looking at them, who are good spitters. How did chapter 1 end?
He said, "Give me or spit on you."
Yes. That is probably the best way to describe Bradley Chalkers. He looked like a good spitter. He was the oldest and the toughest looking kid in Mrs. Ebble's class. He was a year older than the other kids, and that was because he had taken the 4th grade twice. Now that he was in 5th grade for the first, but probably not the last time. Jeff stared at him and then gave him $1 and ran away. I love how you're following along in the book. Bradley laughed to himself, and then he watched all the other kids have fun. In the book? Malachi, are you in? Okay, so Brianna, you want to put it so he can share with you? It's hard for him to see that far away, honey. When he returned to class after recess, he was surprised Mrs. Ebble didn't say anything to him. Say anything to him about what?
Give me $1.
Right, because he just assumed that Jeffrey did what?
Told.
Very good. He figured that Jeff would probably tell on him and that he'd have to give back the $1. He sat at his desk in the back of the room, last seat, last row. He's afraid to tell on me, he decided. He knows if he tells on me, I'll punch him in the face. He laughed to himself. Now, do you see the way that font is written? Does anyone know what that's called?
Italics.
Beautiful, Kendall. That's italicized. And that's written to kind of make you think about it in a different way. And in this manner, they're trying to get you to realize this is what he's thinking to himself. So Bradley's thinking to himself how tough that Jeffrey must think he is. He's afraid to tell on him. You see, it's like the thoughts going on in his mind. Does that make sense? That's why. What do we call that kind of writing? Italics. Yes, italics. He ate lunch alone too. As he walked in from lunch, Mrs. Ebble called him to her desk. Who? Me? He asked. He glared at Jeff, who was already sitting down. I didn't do anything. Did you give my note to your mother? Asked Mrs. Ebble. Huh? What note? I never gave me a note. Mrs. Ebble sighed. Yes, I did, Bradley. In fact, I gave you 2 notes because you said the first one was stolen. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gave it to her a long time ago. Mrs. Ebble eyed him suspiciously. Eyed me suspiciously. I don't think so. Bradley, I think it's very important for your mother to come in tomorrow. Tomorrow was parent-teachers conference day. She can't come. She's sick. You never gave her the note, did you? Call her doctor if you don't believe me. Well, the school has just hired a new counselor, said Mrs. Ebble, and I think it's very important that your mother meet her. They already met. They go bowling together. I'm trying to help you, Bradley. I'll call the bowling alley if you don't believe me. Okay, Bradley, said Mrs. Ebble, and she let the matter drop. Bradley returned to his seat. Glad that was over. He glanced at Jeff, surprised Jeff hadn't told on him. As he scribbled, he kept thinking about what Jeff had said to him. Hey, Bradley, wait up. Hi, I don't mind sitting next to you, really. I have been to the White House. If you want, I'll tell you about it. How are those words written? So he's going through it in his mind. You hear how they're showing you what he's thinking to himself? Isn't that cool? You just notice how the font is written differently. It confused him. Why would that have confused him, what Jeffrey said? Or Mallory?
Because no one was really ever nice to him.
Love it. Great comprehension. He's not used to anyone treating him like this. Kind of like saying, I want to hang out with you. Come on, let's go talk together, right? He's not used to this at all anymore. He understood it when the other kids were mean to him. It didn't bother him. He simply hated them. As long as he hated them, it didn't matter what they thought of him. And that was why he threatened to spit on Jeff. He had to hate Jeff before Jeff hated him. But now he's confused. Hey, Bradley, wait up. Hi, I don't mind sitting next to you, really. The words, they just rolled around on his head and they banged against his brain. After school, he followed Jeff to the door. Hey, Jeff, he called, wait up. Jeff turned and then started to run. But Bradley was faster. He caught up to Jeff at the corner of the school building. I don't have any more money, Jeff said nervously. I'll give you $1 if you'll be my friend, said Bradley. He held out the $1 that Jeff had given him earlier. Jeff slowly reached out and then grabbed it. Bradley smiled a same twisted smile. What's another word for twisted? Write on your board. And something we haven't talked about, or maybe I did. Did I talk about when we see the words in our book, our vocabulary words? We raise our hands like this. Excellent, Tristan. Very good, Nathan. Or Ethan. No, Nathan. My Nathan and my Ethan. I still got to get this straight. Yes, very good. Man, you guys are smart. Wonderful. Yes, I'm getting most of them now. I need a couple more. Good, Brianna. Yes, Nina. Excellent, Weston. Yes, very good, Addison. Lane, you have it. Thank you, Liam. Thank you, Kendall. Yes, Malachi. Sophie. Summer. Yes. So that word is a word we've seen before, right? Mm-hmm. Yes, twisted. What's the synonym you just wrote?
Distorted.
And we saw it in print. So everyone show me what we do when we see it in print. And you remember what we do if we see it in public? Remember the snapping. I must have just gone over it with my other class yesterday. So snapping in public, hands up when we read together. Okay? All right, this is our little celebration for our Word Matters bulletin. Okay, distorted. I'm proud of you guys for remembering. Okay. Bradley smiled his same twisted smile. Have you ever been to the White House? He asked. Yes, said Jeff. Me too, said Bradley. He turned and he ran home. All right, that's it for today.
Somebody, what's your name?